I'm a princess destined to be queen. My once upon a time is now.
Till as old as time, na 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 na. Welcome to Raynday Gaming. I'm sorry, I just saw Beauty and the Beast. It's the Chang'e princess skin. I mean, come on, guys, you can't fault me for singing a little, bringing it all together. Come on, now it's a Sunday. I'm just hanging out. I want to get some Joust gameplay for you guys. I just uploaded a Paladins game, and you know, I have some time to myself. I love my weekends because I'm able to just kind of chill early on in the day, right before I go to cast, and it's just this nice little moment of where I have more time than I'm used to having during the week. And I'm like, all right, what should I do? Should I watch a TV show? I'll just make another video. So don't know if this will come out on this Sunday or if it'll come out on Monday for you guys, but I got an A to Z ready after this as well. So there's a lot of good Smite action. It's just been covering a lot of the new Paladins champions, stuff like that just came out. So there's a lot of have-tos on the channel here for me, at least in my mind. But we can get back to some Joust Smite here. Chang'e, Hercules, and Rama with my boys Epic Gamer Ben and Spiker heading off against an Athena, Kuzenbo, and Kurnonos. So our lineup, we got some inherent strengths, we got some self-sustain, we've got a hyper carry as well, but they've got a lot of aggression, they've got a lot of initiation, and they've also got a lot of damage with the Kurnonos. Oh boy, I'm in trouble. Get instantly deleted there. The Kuzenbo just waited, walked straight up, said, what you gonna do, buddy? And took the sumo slam and made it work for him. And with the AoE damage Kurnonos is bringing, it is just nuts, guys. And so this game is going to really look at a few things here. For you watching, you're going to learn a little bit about Chang'e. You're going to learn how to play her, at least from my perspective. And I'm no master Chang'e, I will tell you that. But I am a guy who's played a lot of these gods and most of the gods, you know, since they've come out and for years, right? So I can give you some basic general guidelines as to what you want to be doing with her, what her strengths are, what her weaknesses are, how you want to be going about a battle. But also, I think looking at how as a team, especially in Joust, when you have more this isolated, you know, 3v3 teamwork kind of thing going on, how as a team you can be more impactful and how you can make the right decisions to impact your games. And really what I'm looking at here mostly too, a great meditation comes out from them, actually saves Kurnonos' life because I think he was going down. Athena very low as well, but look at this, one basic, one more should do it. That's the kill. Epic Gamer Ben gets the deed done. So they got first blood, but we got to kill back. Nice aggressive plays. A little bit of a smorgasbord there from everybody. It was just kind of like we're all fighting nowhere. Nobody cleared the lane. It was really weird. But we ended up doing it, and Chang'e very maneuverable within that whole fight, moving and healing and damaging, and very, very utility oriented, very, very good when she gets ahead, and that damage becomes so much more impactful. It's kind of like a Guardian. When you let a Guardian's damage, who's pretty decent at base, pretty, you know, impactful, get ahead of you, it can be monstrous, and Mirror can be hitting you for everything. I feel like Chang'e has a similar vibe, right, to where if you let her get ahead, not only her damage going to hurt that much more, but because she does it so frequently, that maybe, you know, 10, 20, maybe even 30 damage she is ahead of how you're dealing damage can be monstrous because it's double. It's that, you know, 50, 60 damage that she is, and when you've only got 725 health, you're talking a lot more of a percentage of your health at earlier stages than you would be in the late game. And so that's why early game I think she can just be so threatening, so harassing, and really make things work. I've ran with the Sands of Time. We're going with the Shoes of the Magi here and the Warlock Sash. They've got us really low. They've got a lot of initiation on their team as well, and that's something Chang'e can provide, but you can also provide that burst peel, that burst, and some utility with not only avoiding some of the damage attacks, as we see they're going to the blue here, but just healing up her teammates and doing that damage in the cone. She's a dancer. If you don't know, this is all what Chang'e is about. Steal the blue buff with my ult. Oh, what a BM ult right there. I just want that blue buff. So we go ahead and we steal it. And I actually do think we do have it. So they not all in mana. Might have the meditation though. The Kuzenbo really just going to work me around. My goodness. He's got a lot of room to work with there. It doesn't work for them. There's our meditation. Hercules almost gets the kill, but the dash from Athena saves her. And oh boy, Kuzenbo's ult starts to hurt. I'm trying to get healed up, but the minions and Kurnonos follow through, and Kuzenbo stays alive. So does Athena dies, thankfully. I believe looking at the Rama snipes, but boy, oh boy, that Kuzenbo has been putting me in a world of hurt. And looking at that, we could start to look at some other big, finer tuned things as well. A lot of the matchmaking conversation, if you've been following my channel, has been around, and I really appreciate everyone contributing to it. I think it's all good to openly discuss these things. I don't want to close the door on anything like this. I think that's where our country and people really have issues where we kind of say, I'm right, you're wrong. We close the door on certain topics, and that's it. We don't think that there's another way to look at it. We don't consider there's another way to look at it, and that is when I really think we fail, because I think communication is all about the back and forth. It's all about the listening, the hearing. This is advice I'm giving to myself, because sometimes I love to just be the guy that says something and then that's it. But I really am trying to open my mind up to that. Other people, they have this perspective. What is it? Why do they have it? How can I get to know this a little bit more? And how can I help them to see where I'm coming from too, which is a different place, right? And with that, I think a lot of people, despite what you think, whether it's good or bad, whether you complain about it or not, I think the conversation really is about not just matchmaking, but what to do when you consider it matchmaking, when you consider whatever it is, what it is, right? What do you do at that point when you feel that you're in a bad match, when you feel that you are outmatched in terms of your skill, in terms of your teamwork, in terms of your play, and how can you go about making adjustments? Sometimes it's the lineup that outmatches you and they just pick better gods than you that counter you. And sometimes it's not even that. Sometimes it's just that they've got a great player. Now, some of the best ways to do this is you see here, we get dominated there. I make it out alive somehow. We find a kill, but we lose 2. And their aggression has been incredibly hard to deal with. You could see that there's a lot of things that we could point to, right? The Kernanos getting a few kills, being a very strong god. We can also look to the fact that it's his early release, so hasn't had the ability to get tuned down. If he's going to get tuned down, no adjustments. Kuzenbo recently just got a buff. Maybe it's a little too strong. Hasn't seen the numbers for that yet. Couple little factors, right? We can look at besides just who's playing what. The other thing is looking at the way these players are approaching the game, and that is extremely important. We have the Athena and the Kuzenbo. If you kind of watch, they're running together. They're serving as peel for Kernanos. They really only have one hyper carry late game, and if it gets to late game, the only one who's going to be able to burst us down and really do that hard damage is going to be the Kernanos, especially since we have Hercules with self-sustain, and we've got myself with self-sustain and group sustain. That is a huge Kernanos ultimate there. It proves my point. He is the one that's dangerous. He's the guy that we have to figure out how to deal with. As he's switching, slows me a little bit. But Kuzenbo and Athena are also people to deal with. So that's where kind of the difficulty lies, right? They've got this sustain, they've got this peel. They're both just running back and forth, being very aggressive, wanting to set him up. Yet, it's very, very hard to get to the crux of the issue, which is what? The fact that they're setting him up, or the fact that he is a late game damage carry. When you have to look at this, I think you have to kind of say, what is the root cause, right? It's the chicken or the egg. But I think in this case, like if they don't protect him, he doesn't have as much willy-nilly to be able to go and do damage. If they, basically if we try to kill them, then basically you do all that damage. But look at this. If we able to kill them, right, him, then they're still out there and they're just wailing on us for free, and they have big health pools, and he does a decent amount of damage, and then we go down. Despite getting 3 people in that ult, we still weren't able to find enough DPS onto a single target to burst them down, because they have a very large effective health pool with 2 guardians. It's just meaning that, they essentially have more health to work with in that fight than we do. So if we split it across all 3, they're going to come out on that every single time. So the real question is, like, do you break the peel so that the damage carry has less to work with and less safety, or do you try to go straight for the damage and then say, all right, we bursted him down, we figured him out in the fight, now we're just gonna turn around and deal with these guardians who we're not really scared of anyway. And I think in this situation you go and you say, get the carry, finish him off. Really, what is their win condition? Is it Kuzenbo and Athena just soloing 3 of us? I don't think so. Really, the only one who's going to be able to keep up with Rama late game, right, which is our carry, and even my damage and Hercules damage as we get towards the end of the game. Though Hercules a little bit more like early game, right, damage. He still does damage throughout the entire game, and Chang'e very sustained damage, right. So she's just going to be a factor if you don't deal with her. We need to make sure that our hyper carry Spiker, who just got killed by their hyper carry, stays protected, and we get theirs out of the fight. That is the big key here. We are down 5-9. We're up 4-2. We're now down 5-9. And these are the kinds of things where we can start to point at matchmaking, right? How could you point, look at this game, look at how much we are under pressure, look at this, how obvious it seems that they are outclassing us as a team, that they are better than us, that they Look at this. He's taunting right now that they feel that they are just out of our league, right? And they're playing like it. It's really easy to kind of look at this match isn't really fair. It's really easy to look at this match maybe doesn't have, I think, you know, the type of lineup that serves us because they're just really able to protect their hyper carry, and we don't have as much peel for that. We've just got my ultimate for that peel, and we've got, you know, maybe the Hercules up, but we got the Hercules dash and stun as well. And that's not as good as what Kuzenbo and Athena can really bring to. It's not like a taunt. It's not like a sumo slam. It's not like his ultimate. You know, it's just a lot of different things that they obviously can provide to that hyper carry. But nonetheless, I do believe that if you look at this game and you really start to look at it the way I do, I always try to say, what's our win condition? And that's an important thing as a Smite player to understand. What is your win condition? Can you assess it? Can you look at what's happening in this game and find out this is the thing that needs to shift? If this shifts, it will change everything. And I really think that in this game, the Kernanos dying early is what will shift everything. We realize they just got Fire Giant. Here's the Kernanos. I'm in trouble. He's hitting me with a lot of basics. Goes with the ult. I actually ult him back. And though I may die, no! The number one shuts him down. The Crescent Moon Dance. And we end up getting the Kernanos. We all end him. And now look at this. Where's their damage? How are they going to finish us off? Hercules actually moves them into us, so that was a little dangerous, unfortunately. And I see Kuzenbo trying to come towards me, and that's his ult, and I just die as a result of that ult. I didn't have the cooldowns enough. And despite that, we got so low because I just got caught out by the Kernanos, but we basically got him. And look at this. We're not falling in this fight, right? We're still battling, and we've got Spiker alive. He's low, but he's alive, and he went back to base, and we feel pretty good about that battle. And I think despite the fact that this went several different ways, we see Epic Gamer Ben here baiting them, and Spiker's back, and now they're low health. I'm coming back in this fight. This could have been a great bait, because now they're a little bit aggressive. They don't realize that they now don't have the damage advantage. Look at this Kuzenbo. Where does he think he's going to go? What's going to happen? Oh, he's trying to bait us as well. A blink in by the Kernanos. I just don't know if it's enough damage to actually contend. I got the number one on it, and there's the 3 giving some heal, and Epic Gamer Ben takes down the Kernanos, and now we've got our ultimate. We want to find this off. 25% movement speed. There's the ult as well. See you later, Kuzenbo. Bye-bye, buddy. And that's another kill for us, and we have changed the game. We have changed the way, we have changed the conditions, we have changed the atmosphere, and suddenly we are targeting full on their Kernanos. We're ulting him when we need to. We're blowing up our damage onto him, making sure that everything that we do has to do with getting that Kernanos out of the fight. That is our win condition, and we started to realize that. And once we move into that, you can see that this game becomes a lot more fair. And maybe it's not even fair. Maybe these guys are actually better players than us, but we are just recognizing through a strategic option here, which Smite, a game of strategy, a game of contemplation, right? And making good decisions where that can win you here is going to come out better than just players who may have more skill than us. And I'm not going to lie, there are players out there who have more skill than me. I'm a good player, but I'm not going to lie that there are opportunities for other players to show that, hey, they're just going to be better than me in a joust game. However, I don't know what is really taking case here. Maybe they're a little better. Maybe we're just adding our little own flavor of I think, playing the right game towards this comp. And in joust, you're going to have to figure out, you know, what is that right game, like I've been saying before. But I think it's just a really important thing to go about here. And that's kind of why I wanted to spend this video talking about it, because, you know, whether you've lane management, whatever it is, sometimes you have bad matches, sometimes you have things that go your way and don't, but how do you adjust during that time? That's my never give up, never stop gaming. That's my never surrender kind of attitude. What can I do here, right? It's not that this game's over. We're 4-11 or 4-12, and they're just gonna beat us. And they've got our tower, and then they got Fire Giant, and that means that Bull Demon King, and they've got our Phoenix for free essentially. It's like, what do we have to change? And we've killed that Kernanos 3 times in a row in each of these fights, and that's been the difference. We know that they might be at Fire Giant right now, though. This is huge. He goes up into the air. Rama trying to figure this out. Oh, and they seem like they backed off. Kernanos was waiting for us, though. He's been aggressive in this game. He doesn't feel like he should have been dying, it seems like. They tried to bait us with the Kuzenbo. It didn't work. They both fell. He used the blink. So he's feeling extremely aggressive and confident in his play instead of taking a defensive relic like Purification Beads for my ultimate or Aegis to try and stop some of the damage that may be coming at him. So feeling very, very confident in his play against Spiker over here, just trying to give him a little bit of a heal as me and Epic Gamer Ben are on the right side. There's the Kappa. He's going to start playing on me. They see the ward, so they know where we are. But again, it is all about getting this Kernanos. I get taunted into the Kuzumbo ult and then sumo slammed away. They're like, get this Chang'e out of here. There's my 2, though. It's going to immune me from any damage, and it's going to allow me to stay alive in this fight for that much longer. Another heal, a basic. Remember with Chang'e, those will hit for about 100 at this point in the game onto certain targets, and that means that you're going to be getting that extra damage. It starts to add up in these longer sustained team fights. Spiker gets taunted, and there's a double stun coming out from the end, and Chlorobu gets Spiker, but now we're on the chase for the Kernanos. We pick him up. Could we get the Athena? It's so important. I've got a meditation as well. There's the med. Both of us get some extra mana and some health, and now things have suddenly started to shift. The hot plays are here, and Kuzumbo's running for his life. He tries to sumo slam away, but buddy, you're too late. I've got my 2, and I'll use it. Epic Gamer Ben takes down Lagerthal, Broduk, and Kuzumbo's running for his life, but here's the Shield of Regrowth. I've got my movement speed, so does Hercules, and he's gonna lift him up in the air. We're gonna hit him with the Crescent Moon Dance, and the basic will shut him down. Revenge. And the game looks different. That is how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. And guess who we were fighting at the end there? It wasn't Kernanos and somebody. It was Athena and Kuzumbo, because we killed the Kernanos early. We all end him. That's our strategy. That's how we did it. That was their win condition, and we've taken it away from them, and now they're going to have to adjust. Otherwise, they just will not win this game. Moonlit Waltz allowing me to restore some mana and avoid basically any damage to me. Essentially immunity from those taunts, from those things. And the 3 as well. What a taunt into the boar. Oh my god, almost staying alive. I am. There's the ult out of the Kernanos. Find him out of the boar. So the polymorph works in my favor, keeps me alive, and allows me to surprise him back with the ultimate there, stunning him with my Waxing Moon, and allowing Spiker to get the last shot onto him. We get the Bull Demon King, and now it's the Kuzumbo as well. They've tried to finish me off, but they can't do it. They're realizing that the stun onto the Kernanos, who picked up Blink because he was so confident and wanted to make hot plays, ends up being the crutch that he falls on, and unfortunately doesn't allow him to be the one that's going to be able to stop this game. He gets focused down, and here he comes blinking in yet again. All I want to do is finish this guy off. Another 200 damage, but we go for the Titan, and that's the win. That's the game. One Bull Demon King to win them all. The hot ults, the hot stratagem, and it works out. You know, and so this is it. This is like the epitome of what, you know, I love about my channel, what I love about my games and my clanmates. It's like, you know, we're constantly in this position of being down, right? A lot of times. There's a lot of times where you're down, you start down, or you end up being down. And as long as you commit to working through it, as long as you start to look at different things and don't just do the same thing over and over again, it's the definition of insanity. Like Albert Einstein said, to consider doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. We needed to change things up. And that Kernanos, who was 9-7, probably was 9-3, I would say. 9-3, 9-2 maybe. And then we essentially just killed him 4 or 5 times in a row. And his last part of that game was just him dying and dying and dying. And they would taunt ult, they would taunt into Kuzumbo ult, they would taunt into Kernanos ult, and they just weren't able to kill us. They tried to execute it, but because they didn't have the burst damage like we did, it just allowed us to really, I think, take advantage of this win condition a little bit more. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, I know you didn't learn too much about Chang'e there, but I did try to kind of stick with the theme that I was talking about, and you knew her 3 was about healing. Also reduces the healing of anyone that you hit with that. Very interesting to note. And did not use her passive at all. Don't use it, but it's fun, and you can look it up if you want. As always, guys, I love you. Thank you so much for watching, and remember to never give up, never stop gaming. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and as always, I'll see you next time.